Got one. Second cast. Got him. Yep, got him. No. Welcome back, everybody. So you might be able to tell, but I'm in a hoodie today. A couple days ago, we were in the mid to upper 80s, and right now it's about 55 and a little bit of wind, so it is cold. That being said, I assume the fishing, because of that wild cold front, I assume is probably not going to be all that great. And instead of throwing out a stick bait on a wacky rig, which I do have as backup, I'm going to fish something I never have, and that's the Deps Cover Scat. So that's what we're doing today, seeing if we can't catch a couple fish. We only got about an hour before dark, so not a ton of time either, but that is what we're going to do today. That being said, before I forget, we are still doing our giveaway. We haven't caught a 4-pounder, so make sure to stay to the end of the video to hear more about that. But let's get after it. So from what I understand from the reading about this bait, is it's not a ton different than a Senko. It's heavier, and from what I understand, people just kind of throw it out there, let it sit on the bottom. You can pull it along the bottom. You can go ahead and you know, give it a pump action off the bottom and then let it fall back. And typically those fish are going to bite on the fall just like they will for a Senko. So something I've never thrown before. I've got a 5/0 EWG. From the size of the bait, looks to be about right. I probably could have gone with a 4, but it's got this nifty little slot for where your bend of your hook's going to be. And we're going to see, I'm sure just like all baits from Deps and all sorts of Japanese lures and everything like that, it's going to be super soft. That looks pretty good, and it does have a little bubble there that you can go ahead and texpose that hook. So there we go. Looks absolutely ridiculous. Apparently this works really well. Again, I am very, very behind on the curve for this one, similar to using O-rings, but why does this stuff work? I have no idea. But I'm sure everybody said that about a Senko too. So start chucking around and see if we can't get a couple. All right, first cast. Let's see what happens here. We're just gonna let it fall. Hit the bottom. There we go. Give her a little pop. Let her fall back just like a Senko. And apparently fish absolutely love this thing, so. Not the most fun bait to throw by any means, but if they eat it, I guess what does that matter? Got one. Second cast. Got him. Yep, got him. Not a big one. Fighting in the pads. Feels bigger than he is. That was second cast. Small one on the Cover Scat. Nice. There we go. On a bait that looks like a turd. Little guy. Not too shabby, and it's not torn up. I mean, that little bubble that we texposed it is torn up a little bit, but there we go. Maybe today won't be too bad. Got one. I don't know how we ended up sideways, but we did. That's our second cast. On the last spot that we had a bite, I did throw the, oh, we're in there. I did throw the Senko, the wacky rig, just a couple times to see if we left any crumbs, and I didn't have a bite. So, we still on there? I see some, yep, he's still on there. Not a big one either. They're smaller than they were the other day, but it's cold. Little guy. We'll throw this guy a couple more times in this spot, and if we don't have another bite, we'll end up throwing the wacky rig just to see if, again, if there's anything that they would bite one versus the other. Got one. Yep. I don't know. I haven't had a bite yet on a Senko. Even though I fished every single spot, but at least for a couple casts, but I don't know for what reason. They all just, oh, got it down there. They all seem so mushy on this thing. All right, we're gonna have to grab pliers for him. Oh, all right, let that guy go. He's off. Yeah, I don't know for what reason they feel like that. I don't know. Obviously, this is the first time I've ever thrown it, but they all just feel so mushy. Like, I don't even hardly feel a bite. And it has nothing to do with the rod, because we were fishing the Senko and stick baits the other day with the same rod. Obviously, it could have something to do with the weather and just how they're biting. That's definitely possible. But I haven't had a bite on a stick bait, so I don't really know. There's one. Yep. Shallow water. Oh, there's our bait going up the line. I don't know why we're messing with this. We could definitely boat flip with a 5/0 EWG. There we go. Another little one. They're all small. See if we can't get it with that sunset. Gorgeous. All right, let's see how well, maybe, this thing held together, because she was way up the line. Oh, it hasn't been destroyed. These aren't cheap either, so I clearly don't want it to get destroyed. Fishing was a little bit better today than I had actually expected with as cold as it was. It wasn't phenomenal by any means, but we fished for right about an hour. We've caught 4 so far, nothing big. That is the rough part of fishing this time of the year, is you do not have a ton of sunlight. See if we can't get 1 or 2 more. Get lucky. Get one? Got one. Let it go? Oh, he let it go. I think. Or he's swimming towards us. Oh, yeah. Oh, did we lose it? Yep, we did. Oh, man. There's one. Yep. Did we lose him? Oh, how'd we lose him? What in the world? I don't know how we wrapped up this poorly. There we go. I don't know how we lost that one. It got exposed. I don't know if they're just grabbing the end of it. Oh, and we broke it. Might have to try and super glue that guy together. Oh boy, yeah. Well, that's it for today. We'll try and super glue this thing together and see if we can't use it at least one more time, and we'll come back out fishing with some of the other ones, but these aren't cheap, so if I can mend it, I will most certainly try. But we'll be back out another time. We missed a few fish, didn't catch anything real big. The bites weren't overly aggressive, so I think that says something about just how quick that cold front came through, and it is quite chilly out right now, so hopefully fishing gets a little bit better. But we'll be back out throwing the cover scat again. Welcome back. This is day 2 of us fishing with the Deps Cover Scat. In all honesty, I have no idea who invented this thing, but I really wonder if it started off as a joke. I'm sure there's probably a story behind it, but it just looks so godforsakenly ridiculous that I just wonder if it was a joke initially and then all of a sudden caught fish really, really well. But it'll be interesting to see what they come up with next. I'm sure people probably thought the same thing of the stick bait, just because it looks so boring that it would never catch fish, and it catches fish insanely well. And this thing did pretty well the other day too. Today it's a little sunnier, way windier, and no warmer. So I don't know if the fishing's gonna be better or worse than the other day, but we're gonna see what happens. Hopefully it turns out a little bit better. We have a little bit longer to fish than we did the other day. It was like only maybe an hour or something like that. We got a little bit more time than that today, so hopefully that just innately gets us a few more fish. But we'll start chucking this thing around and hope to find a big one. Got one. Yep. Oh, I missed him. Shoot. That was our first bite, and it took a long time. Didn't even end up getting the hook hardly exposed. Man. I don't know if it took like a day for it to, the water to cool enough to where they wouldn't want to eat, but this is way worse than the other day for sure. There's one. Still got it? You still got it. Oh, I missed him. It's probably a small guy. I didn't want to come over here just because there are people mowing, but it makes sense for the fish to be over here because I'm sure all the bait, the tiny little bait fish and whatnot, because the wind got pushed up over here, and these rocks are going to hold a little bit more heat with the cold temps and everything else like that, so there's probably a few more fish on this side. But and that was our first cast and first bite, so that might be true, but again, we're gonna have to listen to somebody mow their lawn for at least a little while. There's another bite, second one. Oh my gosh, it's two. Are they tiny? It's back to back. What is happening? There's got to be a decent one over here. This isn't a very big bait either, so it shouldn't be that difficult for them to get into. There's one. Oh, we missed him too. What in the world are we doing? That one was definitely bigger, and the hook went right through the bait. Holy cow. What are we doing? That was definitely a better bite. We're 0 for 3. I don't know what's wrong. I finally got one. Yeah, there's one on there. It feels small. Oh, and I didn't even get him. What is going on today? I threw a couple, I don't know. I threw a couple wacky rigs too, and I had one nibble on one. I don't know if it's that they just are that finicky or what, but this is like absolutely crazy. Yep. Finally got one. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Oh, and he threw it off. Oh. All right, that's our only fish so far today. Tiny little guy. Holy cow. This is crazy. But maybe we'll get one more bite before dark. That one absolutely inhaled it, which is wild because none of the rest of them have nipped it even remotely decent. But we'll see if we can't catch another one. No, he's got it. Get him. What in the world? Couldn't have a fish bite all day long, and here we go. They're just inhaling it now. All right, calm down, calm down. That one inhaled it too. Holy cow. Get him unhooked. Let him go too. All right, back-to-back bites. This is just crazy how they wouldn't touch. I mean, we were having small bites, and a lot of them felt like small fish too, so not sure we really would have wanted to catch many of them, but took forever. And now on back-to-back casts, can we go 3 for 3 to possibly end the night? There's another one. Oh my gosh. Is that a good one? No, it doesn't feel real big. Feels better than the last one though. We all so. Oh, what? How did we had him? He pulled. How in the world did it just come out? That makes absolutely no sense. That we have to try and mend that one. That is absolutely crazy. That felt like a decent one. Nothing like massive, but definitely over the pound and 3/4 ones that we have been catching. What in the world? The rod was stuck. It was bent over completely. I have no idea how that came out. That was separated by one additional cast, so they are just lighting it up right now. I wish it wasn't about to be dark. That was probably our chance at a better than average one, though. See if we can't get maybe another one, maybe 2 bites. The other day we did have a bite or two basically into dark, so. There's another one. Oh, what in the world are we doing? That hook point got exposed too. Okay, I don't know how our line got all sorts of wrapped around it, but what in the world? We did not have this issue the other day. He's got it. Go. Oh. What? Oh, how in the world? This is ridiculous. It's either they don't get it at all or they are hooked so deeply, it's crazy. I'm not sure I'm a fan of this lure at this point in time. Or maybe it's just the fishing, but this is absolutely ridiculous. It's either I can't hook them or they absolutely suck it down so deep, it's crazy. All right, there's another one, little guy. I just don't get it. Because again, we did not have this issue the other day. They were all hooked through the cheek, perfectly fine, easy to unhook. I don't understand. If you guys have ever used this bait, please tell me what I am doing wrong. It's just absolutely crazy how stark difference there is from the other day to today with not only hooking fish, but where they're getting hooked. There's another one. That one, we set the hook on instantly. Didn't even wait for it to. If this thing is hooked anywhere besides right in the cheek, I don't have any idea. Oh, she is. I mean, that's still a ways down there. Actually, I hooked it further back. I just ripped. My gosh. I mean, they're finally starting to turn on. And this bait, I do like a lot, because one thing I noticed about it today, especially, is I think you can fish it better in wind than you can a normal Senko, unless you want to add a weight to a Senko or something like that. But this thing's just heavier. So regardless that it was insanely windy today, you could still cast into the wind and it would not change the action that much. It would still fall pretty decent. It wouldn't just skirt across the water column like a Senko would. So I do like that, but this is just absolutely ridiculous how these fish are getting hooked now. See if we can't get one more. I think we caught, or at least had like 6-7 bites on almost as many casts. There's one. It's got it. Go. Little guy. Again, we set the hook on that one instantly too. So if he Where are you hooked? Oh, that one's not too bad. Maybe it's just the smaller ones that get it down a little bit deeper. The bigger ones, maybe they just do a little bit better of not sucking it down quite so much. Well, I'm gonna see if I can keep fishing a little bit. That might be the last one, but we'll see if we can't get another one or two before it's completely dark. I'm shocked at how well these things can find it in the dark. So it doesn't have a whole lot of movement or vibration or anything else like that. So them being able to find it this well is kind of crazy. There's one. Got him too. Oh, it doesn't feel too bad. Oh God, Jesus! It's a it's a bullhead. What are we doing? That's a good bullhead. Good gracious, what is going on? Don't spine me. Don't spine me. Let go of that. It's got some interesting markings on his head. Real dark. Big old black spot right on his head. He might bend my hook. They have such tough mouths. Give me back my bait. Might have to get the pliers for this. Come on. I just don't want him to spine me with his top spine. Let go. He might be there. He might be holding on to the bait with those teeth that he has. That thing's shredded. Give it back. Those things have some nasty, nasty teeth. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but that... I'm probably not getting that other part out unless I get some pliers too. But that'll be our last one. Oh, he's got a little leech on him too. But that'll be our last one for today. We obviously didn't catch a 4-pounder by any means, so we will go back to the house, talk about our bait, and put another lure in the box. All right, we made it back home after fishing with our cover scat. Today was a weird day. I don't understand. We had a couple bites intermittently while the sun was up, and then once it got right close to dark, it was absolutely on fire. It was wild. And I don't understand why the fish bit the way they did. Initially, we couldn't hook up with anything to save our life, so I assume they were probably just nipping at it. And then once the sun was starting to go down, everything was deep hooked. Doesn't matter how quick I set the hook, and I didn't let any of them sit with it. So I don't understand how that happened or why. And I've never seen that stark of a difference of how fish bite in 15, 20 minutes, but that was wild. As far as the bait goes, I like it a lot. It is a little bit better, holds together a little bit better than Senko does. I think that's just because it's a little bit thicker of a plastic. One thing that will save you a ton of money for these is being able to use some super glue or mend it or something like that to put those baits back together. I only actually lost one, and that was on the one that the bullhead had bit in half. And the other ones, I ripped the hooks out of the front, but a little bit of super glue, and you can still use them. So they aren't cheap by any means. I think depending on the size and color you get, I think they're anywhere from, I think on the low end it's like $7.50, something like that, and up to $10. So they're not cheap, but the fact that they do last a little bit longer than Senko's and can obviously catch more fish, I would say they're somewhat similar in price, I guess, for the most part. So I definitely like these a lot. I don't understand why these weird shaped, boring looking plastics work so well, but they do. I'll probably end up buying some more of these. I did like, obviously, how heavy it was. You could cast it further than the Senko. And again, in the wind that we had, it sank better than a Senko typically would. In a lot of wind, if you don't have some sort of weight on there or something like that, those Senkos a lot of times will you know, just kind of drift through the water column and not sink and get that action that you're kind of looking for. So I think there is an application to these, even if you do have Senkos or whatnot. I think there is a little bit of a difference to where you might want to use one versus the other. But if you do get these, I would most certainly recommend getting some super glue to make them last a little bit longer. So there's that. We ended up catching some fish. Nothing big. Again, we are still doing our giveaway. So if you're new to the channel, we're doing a giveaway of a box of lures in a series format. From when we started, which was a while ago, all the way up to December 1st, we are putting a lure in the box for every video that we don't catch a 4-pounder. And when we catch that 4-pounder, we'll be giving that box away, or December 1st, whichever happens first. We haven't caught a 4-pounder yet, so our box is getting very, very full. We'll be doing that giveaway over on Instagram, so make sure to like, comment, share this video so anybody who wants the opportunity to win that sees it and can go ahead and enter whenever we catch a 4-pounder or December 1st comes around. And obviously watch the rest of the video so you know what's in this box. The box is, I have been procrastinating on getting a bigger box forever. There's not even a purpose in talking about it anymore. But we have well over $100 worth of baits. But that being said, we didn't catch a 4-pounder today. So whenever somebody's getting this, it'll obviously be, you know, late fall or winter. So a little bit early for that, but we will be throwing in a crankbait, a red one, which is absolutely phenomenal to use during the springtime for those crawfish. I have a fair number of these, and I actually like them a lot. They work really, really well. So we'll be dropping that in there too. And next spring, hopefully somebody will be catching a bunch of bass on that. But as always, if you guys like the video, if you don't mind liking, and if you want to see more videos like it, if you won't mind subscribing, that'd be greatly appreciated also. Till the next one.